Learning through Caribbean stories.
How do you learn? It's often said, people learn best through stories. So here today, we want to bring forward a story that you can learn from. We at Caribbean Connect, it's all about learning through storytelling. Indian Arrival Day is on us, and we want to bring a storyteller, an artist, a person who loves to talk, to bring forward information on henna. Some of us will not know what henna is, but she will also tell us the different ways that we pronounce it. My name is Shivani Sinarine, and I look forward to really having this conversation with Stacey Leeling on Caribbean Connect as we talk about a story of a Caribbean entrepreneur as well, of the art of henna. Stacey, welcome. We are at Union Hall actually in San Fernando, for those of us who don't know where we are.
Thank you.
Trinidad and Tobago, Union Hall. And here we have Stacey Leeling, who's going to bring some information on henna. She told me she'll do a demonstration on my hands as well. So Stacey, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are.
Oh, I'm Stacey Leeling, an entrepreneur, as Shivana said. We are here at my studio where I do a lot of pottery and arts, and I teach along the healing process of arts. Henna was, or let's call it the correct thing because it's Indian Arrival Day coming up, so it's Mehindi as well. Henna is the ancient Egyptian word derived when we speak about henna, Mehindi, and we going into depth now where it come from, what's the uses of it. There are so many phenomenal uses for Mehindi or henna. It is going to be something very educated, and yes, you're absolutely right, it's a story. Where did it originate from, where it came from, what do we do, the mixtures we use, the designs. So we're here to talk about it, and I'm looking forward to my demonstration on your hands.
Yes, definitely. I look forward too. So Stacey, why did you get into henna?
Well, I live in the artist world, and in my world, I would say there are absolutely no limits when it comes to doing being creative,
right.
Coming out here as an entrepreneur. And if it's one thing I strongly believe in is ambition. There are absolutely no limits to what you can do. Once you're passionate about something, you look into different avenues, different areas where you can get into and besides that, they say every little fills a hole. That's exactly what it does in my category. So this is more of an occupation for me as well. For Diwali time, for Eid, we have Indian Arrival Day coming up. Girls want to get their hands all. So it's generally something that I was intrigued with, because henna is a big thing now for everybody, whereas back in the day it was only for brides. And as a child, that's all I knew it was for children, not for children, for the bride. And bringing henna and Mehindi out, you would see it all at the nagars. You would see your entire bridal party in an Indian wedding is getting their henna done. It's just so wide and massive now. There's no words, there's nothing to express how great it is, and it's a beautiful thing to show, to be a part of. And it doesn't stem that Shivani is Christian and Stacey is Hindu. It is a work of art. Yes, there are a lot of beliefs behind it. There are a lot of meanings towards it. But if you know what you're doing as a henna artist, and you have your clients, and you know your clients and where they're at, what occasion they're celebrating, you would definitely know how to apply and what designs you can do on these particular persons.
Because you said something there with henna. Sometimes when you look at it, somebody may be in a sad time, and they're not feeling happy, but just decorating yourself. So to me, it comes like jewelry. You could look at it like jewelry. Sometimes when women, we put on our jewelry and our makeup, we feel so uplifted. So would you say henna is like that as well?
It's
when
funny
you look
you
at
should
it?
say that, because what they said in some of the readings that I have done is henna is actually an uplifting, calming.
Calming.
Yes, there's a calming ointment
Yeah.
from the henna tree itself. Those leaves that we use, it actually brings calmness. That's one of the reasons why they said they put it onto a bride. A bride is a nervous person,
Yeah.
would you say? She's nervous.
Yes.
They
yes.
said it calms them, right?
Right.
Medicinally, they said that henna helps a lot of pain. It de-stresses. They also said that if you have a headache, henna helps. If you're agitated in terms of tendons and that sort of thing, henna helps with it. There are so many properties towards
So a lot of
yes.
medical.
And henna tree, leaves, what comes to your mind? A herb.
A herb.
A herb.
Yeah.
So we have all of those things going on with henna. And like I said, originally they placed henna on the hands of a bride to calm her, but it also an announcement of this new bride. But the meaning behind it also is a successful marriage, to keep her steady. So they have a lot of derived purposes for henna. Originated from ancient Egypt, yes, but became a thing in India, became a thing in Pakistan. We have it in South Africa, Africa generally. Because when you think about henna and you see particular designs, you also think native, right?
Right.
You think tribal,
Yes. Tribal. Yes.
right?
Yes.
So these are things that they actually did to pronounce victory in war, right? Spiritually, anything that created that became a celebration for Christianity, for Buddhism, it's used in Buddhism, for Islam, they did henna as a celebration of victory, a celebration of freedom, a celebration of, so it really stems from a lot. When you do intricate reading on Mehndi and henna and see where it comes from, you're like, this is something good.
Yes.
You know, this is something good. So a lot of times I say relax, it's a herb.
A herb.
And that's exactly what it is.
Yes. But what about, you said it's a herb? Do you drink it? Have you ever heard about anybody drinking a cup of tea, making a tea?
That's right. I have seen where they have placed it in tea. Remember, this is a dye substance. The leaf is actually a dye. So I know that like these what do you call them? Like the monks and stuff. The way they would chew a tobacco.
Right. Okay. Right.
But I haven't done a read in terms of the quantity, or should we use it, or what are the side effects, or that sort of thing. So I really don't have the knowledge on that part of it, which is a good thing for you to state to me to read. But you can do that reading as well. But other than that, this was actually long ago sugarcane, farming, building. Let's look at ancient Egypt, where it actually derived from, building pyramids and so on. Henna was actually used on the skin to suppress sunburns, so you can take the actual heat. Yes. So men used to apply it to their skin and go out there to work, because this was toiling day in and day out. Our forefathers, sugarcane workers on the fields, well, everything was a plantation, didn't have to be sugarcane alone. They used to apply it on their skin as well. Yes. Now this was made out of that grinding, I forgot what you call it, that grinding stone.
Mortar.
Paste.
Yes.
Yes, the mortar, mortar and sill. Yes, that's what the woman actually did it on, so you're right. And this paste was made to apply as a sunblock. Now, the dye was there, which would have meant, when I figured it out, which would have meant that this paste actually lasts from 1 week to 3 weeks, right? This dye actually stays on your skin. So long term, it's not something that is going to come off on your sheets or anything like that, or your towels or anything like that.
It would look red after.
That's right. It stained the skin because of its pigment. We all have pores on our skin, just like the way you rub a moisturizing cream, it gets into the skin. And it was beneficial to them in terms of they could have faced the heat. That is what was useful in those days. A lot of those herbal medicine people use it for rubs to cure headaches. Like I said, tendons. We have a lot of other uses that I did kind of jot down for you. It decreases inflammatory. We have...
So if you're feeling the cold, if you
That's
have
right.
the cold, it will work.
Yes. Arthritis pain.
Arthritis.
And there was a read where they said that it can actually help with tumor cells.
Yes. But you know, everything you're talking about here, it's reminding me of turmeric.
Right.
Henna. So you
Right.
think there's a relation with henna and turmeric?
It's two completely different trees.
Yes.
And I get the reason why you're thinking about it is because turmeric leaves a stain as well.
Yes.
If we grate some turmeric right now and we try to make some tea, your grater mess up, your bowl mess up,
Yes.
your dish mess up. So they are absolutely different. But if you're looking at traditional uses, turmeric and henna can go not hand in hand, but it is
Similarities.
traditions that we would know, our culture would know of.
Right. So you mentioned about celebration. You know, you look at henna. It came from, you said, Egypt.
Yes.
Many persons may not think that unless
Yes.
you know it. You may think,
5,000 years ago it has been in use.
and it went to India and then Pakistan, and then we in Trinidad and Tobago started it very heavy for
Yes.
bridal weddings.
Yes, yes. It
You
was
know?
bridal weddings full stop. And this is me at the age of 5, 6 wondering, hey, how can we
Yes.
can't get this? I don't know where the break happened where everybody got henna.
Yes.
You know? There are a lot of other uses for henna where modeling, you know, girls want to do a tribal look and just do there's certain TikTok videos where you can see where girls were actually applying henna to cover certain parts of your exposed body to do art displays of it.
Art.
So I did have a trigger once, and this is something that's on my bucket list, to actually get that body henna done throughout your body.
So like a tattoo?
Yes, like that's right. So I have had carnival sessions where girls come and they say, can you cover up this part of my body, my sides or my arms or my back or my legs? And I can do, like, and they're different colors, the black, the pinks, oranges, but our traditional henna color is that burgundy red look, which eventually fades into like an orange, and then it starts fading off because it's coming off, right? Like I said, 1 week to 3 weeks of stains.
I like what you said about carnival in terms of persons came to you, because
Yes.
I know you had a carnival
Yes.
band, you put out a
Yes.
band as well.
Yes.
And, you know, persons wanted this. They're
Yes.
seeing it not only for Indian arrival or a religious
It
holiday.
keeps you
yeah.
away from the needle, doesn't it? The
Uh,
actual
yeah, the
tattoos.
tattoo.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So you could get it and have the look. And have the look. So that's a main point. I might take that up when I play mass next
Yes,
time, right?
yes,
Yeah, I might
yes.
take it up because I don't want to have any tattoos, so I'll use that, right? So, Henna, you said, what is the other word? The word that we popular will know it by.
Well, the English word is really myrtle.
Myrtle.
Yes, that's
Okay.
the English word. The Hindi word is Mehindi,
Mehindi.
and the word that was derived from ancient Egypt was henna.
But right now in Trinidad and Tobago, which one you think is more popular? What word are we using
Oh,
more?
we go henna Mehindi.
Henna, Mehindi, because
Yes.
I've never heard of
Yes,
myrtle.
and
Is
I
myrtle?
think people adjust to their speech, like saying Mehindi
Yes.
makes it sound, and then some of even the babies say henna. A lot of the kids say henna, but when I am advertising, I do Mehindi/henna, or it really goes towards the occasion.
Because Stacey, if you use myrtle, I wonder if people will know what that is.
No.
I don't think so at all.
No, yeah.
They would know because I
Yeah.
never knew that. I'll say it's a
Yes,
person saying, I want to know if that's your name.
Yep. So when you called me, I said there must be an English word. I've never came across an
Yes.
English word, and I searched into it and I saw what it
Myrtle.
was. Yeah.
So henna, because I think only recently I would have started to hear the word henna. It was what you said
Yes,
before.
Mehindi.
Mehindi. For the bridals, you know, you hear Mehindi,
Mehindi.
all the time.
All the time.
And at a point, would you have seen this as being something people didn't want to do? They saw it as a stigma attached to religion.
There are coats, as a Christian, I know, but they were switching more into tattooing.
Tattooing.
However, traditionally, there are meanings to henna. But doing a design, and this is my opinion because I don't want to offend anybody, doing a design of a flower on a child's hand,
Right.
or a woman who wants to get henna done, there are no meanings attached to it beside that individual sitting there wanting to get a beautiful adornment of color. I mean, we have beautiful women in Trinidad, we have beautiful women worldwide. Getting an adornment of color, jewelry, any type of garment is something that is so valuable to us. It means a lot to us. Now, yes, traditionally, particular bridal mehindis, like a bride will ask for something, one of the things that they do is it's tradition to hide the husband's name, and he has to find it in that artwork of mehindi.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
never
So
heard
it's
that.
common, yes.
Never heard that.
Right, so that also brings like the length of time that he takes or something to that matter to find it, and when he find it guarantees a successful marriage, it guarantees a lengthy
So
marriage.
a lot of tradition with this.
That's right. Now, certain designs like triangles, they said that triangles in different directions on the hand is really male dominance or female dominance.
The pattern, the
yes,
different patterns.
Yes,
Right.
we have all of that. Diamonds are like when we do those diamond shapes on your hands in henna, it's enlightenment. We have circles, which are realistic outlooks of life. A lot of the things mean certain things. We have peacocks, which is freedom and
So people will come to
future
you
success.
and just ask you for, or you will recommend to them.
So, as a henna artist, and I always put this out to somebody, you can bring a design for me to do. It's not going to come out 100% like the design, because this is another artist's work. In terms of the entire studio, if I am asked to paint a particular canvas, I'm going to tell them this is going to come out about 83% of it, because I'm mimicking another artist's work. But if you allow me as a henna artist to work, as a general artist, to work off of my head, I always tell people, let me place my beautiful thoughts on your hands, on your henna, because it flows naturally. Looking at something is fine. It takes up a lot of time, so therefore the cost is different. But working off of my head, you can get a full hand directly in 10 minutes than looking at every detail from an image to get it done. I have done it before, because you see something you want to get. We celebrated Eid. I did like simple Taj on children's hand, butterflies and that sort of thing. So, but that was just freedom off my head. And it's kind of like a flow, rather than breaking your concentration to look at an image to start something.
Because sometimes, what I'm thinking about what you said here, somebody could come to you, and just by speaking to them and getting to know them, you might
That's right.
realize what might work for them.
Yes.
And then that could uplift the person
Yes.
even more, because,
Yep.
somebody might come and they might say, Stacey, I want this, but it's not doing anything. But by just talking to me, talking to the individual, you realize, Shivani, you should use this instead.
Yes.
So just by doing that now, you make me feel and you understand who I am.
Yes.
So, I speak a lot about design thinking.
Yes.
And design thinking is getting to know your customer. So what you're really doing there is that
That's
empathy.
Right. That's right.
So a lot of times people may come with ready-made things, I want to do this.
Yes.
But just this is art.
Oh,
art
I have
form.
questioned it.
Yeah, this is
Why
art
do you
form.
want to do this? Do you know the
Yeah.
meaning of this?
Yeah.
Because innocently they don't know.
Yes.
They don't know the history of it, the background.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is a peacock. It means freedom and strength. This is nice to put for you. Like I told you, the arrow direction, I would say they said female or male principle according to the direction of the arrow. So I would go like generally, oh, okay, so you're doing this one for your husband, because this is like female principle and male principle,
Right.
the direction of the triangles and stuff.
I didn't know about that. I'll tell you after what to do for me.
Well, you've heard about a lot of people. I use instant henna. We have mixed henna. We have the ones that you actually have to dry, and then the application of certain ingredients afterwards to take care of it and to make that henna burst. I'll tell you a little bit about that. So have you ever heard about applying sugar onto the henna design afterwards?
No.
Right, so sugar and lime. So what lime does, the henna reacts to the sour sour, anything sour in terms of when putting into the leaves, it makes the molecules pop a little bit more in the henna, creating that stain. So the more sour is the more breakable that molecule is in it. The sugar really is not really to enhance the look of it. What it does is actually moisturizes.
The sugar?
Yes, that henna, to have that nice, sharp, bright look, that moisture kind of look on your hands. And those are the two different ingredients that they ask to. However, like I said, I use instant henna, so you get the general drying and then a peeling. And that's your henna, and this one lasts a little less longer time than the mixed one. But the instant works for me because I get to see my creation immediately, the creativity immediately, the color immediately, and then it starts to go. And your application has a lot to do with it too. Lighter areas, darker areas, shading, that sort of thing. But generally, instant henna works for me.
So Stacey, would you say, so we know Trinidad and Tobago, we use a lot of this. A lot of people, for brides, and now it's becoming much more popular because we're looking at it as an art form that you could decorate your body with instead of tattoo.
Yes.
And you said you experienced it during Carnival. People wanted it during Carnival time. Now we have Indian arrival. So we're really not looking at it only as a religion. It's not religion, but it's really more an art form.
It is.
That anyone wants to beautify because it's beauty.
Yes.
Just as you put in on your makeup.
Yes.
You know, it's beauty. That's how I'm looking at what you're, what you're thinking, what you're talking about. But what about throughout the Caribbean? You know, have you seen anywhere else? Because I have seen a couple places. Where have you have seen anything?
I haven't, but I know people who travel to the Caribbean or even visit us. They would come to the studio. Yeah. A lot of the Americans come by and they're like, oh, you do henna? They would stop by and get this henna done. Because like I said, it's really something, to them it's a nice, beautiful, fashionable wear.
Yeah, comes like your jewelry now.
But then I'm scared to go get the actual needle, so I want to get this done. Now, travel Caribbean-wise, girls who come to the studio, they want to wear their little bath suits and that sort of thing, so they want something on their arm, they want something on their side of the hip.
Right.
So it's more, like I tell you, it's fashionable.
Yes.
That's the word. It's sort of fashionable as well. So I do have cases like that where people, but I have never heard of somebody sitting in Jamaica and doing it. Maybe it's there, but you know, that's not part of my what I looked for. But other than that, no, I think it's just right here.
So it's in Trinidad, but what amazed me, and is what you were saying in terms of it's just looking as an art form now. Because when I visited Barbados recently, I got, someone was like in one of these markets, flea markets in Barbados. They were there and I used it.
They were sending the cone. Yeah. Beautiful.
So they were there and it just basically did the art form for you. So it's not a religion anymore.
Interesting.
You know? Interesting. Well, I know in Guyana definitely we'll do it.
Yes.
But in Barbados, I was very impressed.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
And people are no longer looking at it as just religion.
Yes.
It is an art form.
It is an art
form.
form.
I love what you said, and you know, we are seeing it definitely.
Yes.
It is an art form.
That is so good to know.
Yes. So Stacey, wonderful information. So in terms of the learnings, the story that we are telling, the Caribbean story used from a henna artist, is the importance of henna. That henna is no longer seen just by brides using. It was seen originally like that in terms of a celebration. And I'm sure you gathered from the conversation, it's used now. It came from Egypt, but it was in India, Pakistan, it's in Trinidad and Tobago, and we are even seeing it throughout, you know, the Caribbean and different islands as well. And I'm sure after people hear this conversation, they're going to start up this now because we are creating entrepreneurs throughout the entire Caribbean. So persons will come and contact you, Stacey, and say, well, show me how to do this. And of course, we have all the online and self-paced learning that you could reach from wherever you want to do it, and the apps to do it. So Stacey, wonderful content, wonderful content. You said you wanted to do a demonstration.
Of course.
So how are we going to do this?
Well, I am going to apply instant henna to your hands.
And I have a couple things to do over the weekend, so I'm glad.
Yes.
Right, so
as soon as it's dry, you can put it. It's not going to affect your jewelry. So as soon as it's dried, you can go right ahead and. So you're actually required to do a patch test on your henna. So if I buy a different brand of instant, it's obvious I would do a patch test on myself. Let me do this one first.
Good.
And because there is no sulfur and ammonia on the instant one that I use, and I always look for that product that make sure that it doesn't have that chemical in it.
So you realize I didn't tell you what to do for me.
No, because we have a relationship.
So you just know what you're going to do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to a birthday dinner after I do this. So persons will say I definitely just came to get henna for the birthday celebration.
Yeah.
In Trinidad, we're looking at Diwali. What about Christmas time? Do you find a lot of persons come during that time?
No, actually no. No, unless it's a foreigner that's visiting somebody visiting home that requested. Hey, it's a spur of the moment sort of thing for an occasion like that. But not
as yet.
really.
Not as
Really. Maybe it can be given as a gift voucher for somebody to get it, and in the upcoming occasions that we have, you know. But
it's how it's viewed, I guess.
That's right.
But as you said, carnival. So I think it's just a matter of time now. Anybody would look at this as, I want to adorn my hand.
Yes.
Do it.
Yes. It's a great idea. You know, let's go get henna done
with friends, and you do it as a. Oh, nice.
And that's us.
Oh my goodness.
I think we're about into 10 minutes with both hands.
Yes, that's about 10 minutes. And now all we have to do is allow it to dry, which will take about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Stacy. Really, it was a great story. And at the end of every great story, what I love is to see the product that comes out, which is my hands, right? So I felt very happy. Stacy, you mentioned that I'll feel calm. I'll tell you in a little bit if I'm feeling calm. It depends on how I'm singing right now, right? If I'm feeling calm as well. So thanks a lot, Stacy. We look forward to, continuing this conversation, because a story, could have different parts. So this is just part 1 of the story with henna. So we look forward to having many, many more stories. Thanks again, everyone, for listening. Thank you very much. Right here on Caribbean Connect, as we bring forward learnings through Caribbean stories.